everyone and welcome back to All About Steph 1 with me, Steph, and today I'm going to talk you through my 3 Formula 1 fantasy teams for the 2021 season. Firstly, I do just want to say, this is going to be the year that I remember I have fantasy teams. This is the year that I have actually done my fantasy teams before the first race of the season, so I actually get the benefit of all of the races in the season. So I hope you're all proud of me for taking this step. It's on you guys to keep reminding me to check my fantasy team. I mean, it's on me, but I would appreciate a little helping hand from you guys if you wouldn't mind. If you're not familiar with Fantasy Formula 1, you basically get $100 million of fake spending money, and you have to pick 5 drivers and 1 constructor. You can choose whoever for whatever reason. You ideally want to maximize the use of your budget, so you want to get as close to that 100 million mark, because the more expensive people are, the better they are. So Mercedes, expensive. Lewis Hamilton, expensive. If you want to get involved, the link will all be in the description. FSeries has a fantasy league, so make sure you go and join that so you can get involved with all of us. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. Team number 1 is called the Worldies in Waiting, and if you couldn't guess, these are people who I think are going to be world champions in the future that haven't got their first championship yet, so they're in waiting. Number 1, we have Max Verstappen driving for Red Bull. I feel like this is a given, but he is the second most expensive driver to purchase, so I did waste a lot of funds on him, so you cannot disappoint me this year, Max. And I don't think you're going to. Number 2, we have Daniel Ricciardo, who I have pegged to be best of the rest in P5 this year. There are some people who don't think he's worthy of a world championship, but I definitely do, and if he ends up leaving this sport without one, I think he will be one of the greatest drivers to never win a world championship ever. Number 3, we've gone with Charles Leclerc, who is driving the Ferrari, and I feel like this one's very similar to Max. We all expect him to be a driver's champion at some point, it's just when. Number 4, I have gone with George Russell. We all know that he's going to be in that Mercedes sooner or later, and he is world championship material. So even though he's not in the best machinery right now, I believe in him, and he's going to go in this team. Because if I didn't put him in this team, it would be not the Worldies in Waiting. It would be the Worldies in Waiting and some other drivers. And finally, the last driver in this team is Yuki Tsunoda, and this might be a surprise because I don't think he's pegged like the other 4 drivers are to be a future world champion, but he definitely could be, and he's definitely demonstrating his speed and ability. Who knows what the future could hold if Red Bull decide to make a competitive car. The turbo driver I have picked is Daniel Ricciardo, and I feel like that was a very sensible choice by myself. He's the one that's going to be most consistently picking up the points out of the midfield drivers. I couldn't turbo Verstappen. So yes, I've gone with Daniel Ricciardo for that one. The constructor I chose was Red Bull because that was the most expensive constructor, and I wanted to maximize my budget like I was saying. They are going to be very strong this year as well, with Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez as a teammate. So Red Bull is my constructor for this team. I'm really happy with it. It's my strongest team of the 3, I definitely think. Besides Lewis Hamilton, these are the 5 drivers that I believe in most on the grid. I'm feeling good about these ones. They're going to bring me a league win. Team 2 is called the International Boys. And so if you didn't realise already, we have 5 drivers out of the 20 who are not European. And these drivers are making up my second team. So number 1, we have Sergio Perez, who is from Mexico. And I think he's a great choice because he's going to be in a Red Bull this year. I think he's going to pick up at least 1 win, if not 2. So he's a strong character to have in my team. Next, we've gone all the way across the world. We've plucked up Daniel Ricciardo, and he is in this team as well. Like I said, I believe him to be a world champion in waiting, so I might as well get him on my team. He's very strong. Next up, we've gone back across the Pacific. We've gone to Canada to get Lance Stroll and pop him in the team. I predicted Lance Stroll to beat his partner Sebastian Vettel this season, and so I'm expecting big things from him, and I think he can live up to them. Next, we're going back across the Pacific Ocean again to get Yuki Tsunoda from Japan, and he's going to be in my team as well. Like I already said, Yuki is quick, and he's already demonstrating his ability in that AlphaTauri, so I think that he could be a very, very special guy to watch out for in the 2021 season. So if he's not in your fantasy teams, what are you doing? And finally, we go back across the Pacific Ocean again. We go back to Canada to get Nicholas Latifi, and he is the final member of this fantasy team. For the international boys, I have turboed Sergio Perez because I think, honestly, he's going to do bits in that Red Bull once he gets warmed up. He's going to be picking up a large points haul, and he's going to be a frequent member of the podium. Again, with this team, I have gone with Red Bull as the constructors, as they were the most expensive team I could purchase after purchasing all my drivers. I could have gone for an international team, but 7 of the teams are based in the UK and the other 3 are based in Italy. So there's no real international teams in Formula 1 anymore. I could have gone for Haas because, let's be honest, they are very international, with being an American team, being based in the UK, and having a Russian flag on their livery. But Haas, I really feel, are not going to give me the points that I want. So there we have it. We have 5 guys who are from all of the countries outside of Europe. The rest of the 15 drivers on the Formula 1 grid are all Euro-centered. So I've gone with the international boys for this one. And I think it's actually a really, really strong category of drivers. And finally, we have made it to my 3rd and final team, which is called Midfield Mafia. These are the guys who are going to take over the midfield. They are the ones that are going to be doing absolute bits, and I've gone with ones from different teams because I want to pick the one who's going to be the most dominant in each team. Number 1, for the 3rd and final time, I have Daniel Ricciardo in my team. If Daniel Ricciardo has a terrible year now, I will be so disappointed because he is in all 3 of my fantasy teams, so I need him to punch out those results. I also have Leclerc again, who I think will be the winning driver out of the Ferrari pairing. Yeah, he's going to cause mayhem. Yeah, he's going to do bits. And yeah, he's going to put that car where it doesn't belong. Next up, we have Fernando Alonso. And I feel like this one is pretty obvious, the reason that he's here. He is an absolute boss, especially in a car that is not the greatest on the grid. So yeah, he's going to be an absolute boss. And yeah, he's going to kill it on the circuit. Again, I have gone with Lance Stroll. Like I said, I believe in him this year. I think he's going to do some really good things. I think he's the one that's going to come on top out of the Aston Martin pair. He's going in Midfield Mafia as well, so he can cause a bit of mayhem. And my final driver for this team is Pierre Gasly, who's going to be the winning driver of the AlphaTauri pairing. Now, I do have Tsunoda in my other 2 teams, but I do think that Gasly is also going to come out and do some good stuff. For this group, I have decided to turbo Fernando Alonso because he will often have some great races where he picks up large hauls of points, and I could do with those being doubled. And I also can't turbo Ricciardo again because he is living rent-free in all of my 3 teams. My constructor for this final team is going to be McLaren because I've gone with Red Bull for all of the other ones and I need to go with someone new. So I'm going with McLaren because I have also predicted them to be the best constructor of the rest. They seemed like a good one to go with to cause some, midfield mafia mayhem. But there you have it. Those are my Formula 1 fantasy teams that I will be using throughout the 2021 season. I'm always afraid to do substitutions, so it may be that these teams will stay the exact same for the duration of this season. Don't forget to join the FSeries league down below and all of the other leagues that are knocking about the internet. And don't forget to get involved with fantasy yourself. The links will be in the description down below. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe down below if you've not already. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!